Hi, welcome to the tutorial for the I Heart Granny Square. So the I Heart Granny Square is the second square in our Cardi Club selection. It's slightly trickier than the beginner classic granny, but only because you're changing colours in different places. It's actually, I don't know if you can tell, it's actually exactly the same pattern. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of normal granny stitches, same as this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds of granny stitches. So for this tutorial, I recommend you have already tried the regular classic granny pattern. In that tutorial, I go much more into detail about how to do the individual stitches. But for this one, I'm mainly going to be showing you how we do it, but with a focus on where we're changing colours to get the pattern. In your pattern, I've obviously written this one, as I do all the others, but I've also included what's called a diagram, so a crochet diagram. So I don't know if you can tell, but essentially I've drawn out all of the stitches and changed the colour so you can see exactly where you're supposed to be changing colours. So use this if it's useful to you. If it isn't, ignore it, but a lot of people find them really useful for this kind of thing. Okay, for this square you're going to need two different colours. You're going to need your heart colour and your border colour. You're also going to need your hook, your scissors and your needle. So I'm just going to move this to the side. So to begin with, you're going to want to get your heart colour. And just like on the previous granny square, we are going to tie a slip knot and chain 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to use slip stitch to join that into a small circle. You're going to take your hook and pull it through the first chain stitch. You're going to grab your yarn and pull it through. You're going to take that loop underneath the other loop that's on your hook. And what you should have is a small ring of crochet. Next step is to do a chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets into the center of that ring that you've created. So it's a yarn over, put your hook through into the center, grab your yarn and pull that back through. We've got your 3 loops on the hook, and it's a yarn over through those 2, then yarn over through the next 2. You should have 2 spokes coming out of your circle. So we're going to do that again. Put your 3 loops on the hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And that's your first granny stitch. So in the center of our granny heart there are 4 granny stitches and 4 corners. So we're going to go ahead and make those now. So for the corner we are going to chain 3. Then we're going to do another granny stitch back into the center of that original circle you've made. So it's yarn over into the circle, grab your yarn and pull it through, so you've got 3 loops on your hook. It's yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, and again. Until you've got 3 double crochets or 1 granny stitch. Then you're going to chain 3 for your corner. Same again, 3 double crochets or 1 granny stitch. One more double, and then it's your chain 3 for your corner. You've got 1 more group of doubles there to go. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then it's just your chain 3. And we're going to join these chains to your original first stitches with a slip stitch. So you're going to pop your hook through the big space there, grab the yarn and put it through. Then you take this loop underneath this loop. Okay. Then we're going to carry on in this colour, if you can see that very well because of the light, sorry about that. I'm going to carry on in this colour, and so we're going to slip stitch this into one of your corners. So what you want to do, you see in between each of these spokes is a gap, and you are going to put your hook into it. So to the first gap, pull your yarn through and slip it underneath that last stitch you've done. Then into the next gap, pull your yarn through and slip it under the stitch. And you're now in the corner space. Can you see that? What we're going to do now is another round of granny stitches. But this time we're going to put corner grannies in each of these corners. So to do that, we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do a granny stitch. So yarn over, through the loop and pull through. So you've got your 3 loops, through 2, through 2. And again, you've got 3. Okay, and then we're going to move on to the next corner. We're going to do our granny stitch. That's our 3 there. Then we're going to put a corner in, so it's chain 3. And then another granny in the same space. Remember, a granny stitch is simply 3 double crochets all coming out of the same chain space at the base. There's our next corner. You see that? So now we're going to do another corner granny in the next corner. There's your next corner. I'm going to do the same in the next corner, and I'm going to meet you back at the when we get to the final corner, okay? Okay, so I've come back round to that last corner now. So I'm going to show you what that is. So I've done a granny corner in each of our corners, apart from this one where we started. And as you can see, you've got one spoke here that needs its pair coming out the side of it. So we're going to do that now. So what we're going to do is 2 double crochets next to it in that corner space. So yarn over into the last space, do a double, and again in the same space, another double. And then we're going to join those 2 rounds with a slip stitch. So just going to pop our hook down there, pull up a loop and slide it underneath the loop on your hook. And now that one looks just the same as before. It looks like you've got another granny corner. So again, we are not going to tie our work off this time. So if you have a look at the complete granny, we're now doing this row that changes between colours. And this is the complicated bit. This is as complicated as it gets for this one. But our first corner, this one here, is a granny corner in our heart colour. So we'll do that now. So we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to do our grannies. So 3 double crochets in the same space. There's our first one. Now we need to change colour here because this here is our next stitch. You see, if I line those up with this one. So to change colour, you're going to snip your yarn, leave a good sort of 20 centimetres or so, just snip that off. I'm going to bring in your other colour, your border colour. So here we go. And all you're going to do is you're going to use your hook, and you're going to pull that through the loop on your hook, leave it on your hook. But what you want to do is take that previous end that you've chopped, pull it tight, and I like to tie it in a knot with its previous colour. Give it a good tight knot there. And then you've got your new colour as your working loop. So we're just going to do one granny stitch here. So that's yarn over. There's your first double, your second double, your third double. One granny stitch. Now we need to change colour back because we're about to do the next corner, and the next corner is back in our heart colour. So again, oops, my shadow there, we're going to snip our ends off. And we're going to join in our new colour. Tie those two ends together. So we're going to pull that tight, grab our new end, tie the two. So our next stitch is a corner granny in this corner, both grannies are in this heart colour. And we're going to chain 3 and work back into this space with another set of grannies. We're going to do one more granny into the next chain space. And then we're going to change colour again. So there's obviously quite a few colour changes in this row, which means you've got plenty of ends to be weaving in at the end. So think about that. If that's the square you're thinking you're going to do you like weaving in ends? Because you're going to be weaving in a fair few with this one. So there we go, there's that end, that colour changed. So now we're going to do a corner granny into this space with our border colour. Let's try that again, shall we? Back into the same space. Okay. Can you see it's starting to take its heart shape? So now we're going to change back into our heart colour. So snip. I'm going to do one of these. One granny, that is. And change back to our border colour. I'm going to do a corner granny with this colour. There we go. And then we are going to change back to our heart colour. And that's our last colour change. You'll be glad. Okay, so that's a granny stitch here. Third one, and then we've already started this corner piece, so we're just going to add its 2 extra double crochets and then slip stitch to finish the round. So that's the first one, and the second one, and the slip stitch to finish the round. And we've actually finished this round, so you're going to do a chain, pull that up high. I'm going to snip that off because the next round is all in your border colour. So you should just about be able to see your heart. Your heart motif is there. We just need to add border all the way around that now to help make it really pop out, really stand out. Okay, so if you want to grab your border colour, we'll do that now. So to join your border colour, you can join that in any of your corners. I'm just going to join it in here. Just pop your hook under and pull through your border colour. We're just going to tie that in a knot. Okay, and then once you've joined, you're going to do 5 chain stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just like before, we're going to do corner grannies in the corner, we're going to do regular grannies in the side spaces, and at the end we're going to join with a slip stitch. So we'll start doing that now. And here we are at the last corner, so we're just going to do 2 double crochets and slip stitch to join. And there's your slip stitch. And we're going to do a chain stitch, pull that up, tighten it off, because you're ready to snip. And there you have your finished I Heart Granny square. So our next step is the final bit, and that's just to weave in all those ends.